IMA gonna fail so hard, 79. I mean, all the way to the ground. You're gonna hit terminal velocity with a guy like me inside of here, which is the whole point. Now, with my new ADM setup here, it's a lot easier. This 79 in Virtual Studios just doesn't have what it takes. Even after I straight power wash it and start it from scratch with only what it is, it's not just a speed problem. There's also my ability to get it through hardware to be the software or firmware that I need it to be. I think, at least that's how I'm about to describe it in the it's not Mandela. I was just watching Infinity Series Girl go the other day about why math or computers are bad at math, and you're obviously beat me in Python. As far as what that variance to a physical control is, it's very, very easy to talk about XYZ stuff, A and A prime, S and S prime, the distance in T, which is a guesstimation on prior evolutions in the S1 or U1 department. Somewhere's back there I had clipped. Now, if I had observations and we could pick it apart like the asteroids code, well then you're going to see me completely remodel that, but it's still always going to drop back down to that either canvas or some language base that I'm seeing here. And again, from the standpoint of having a mean where I could come in and offer a suggestion like this, kind of seem like I know what I'm doing like a dev, but I'm just a game player. You need to make an improvement here, but you just work 6 weeks on a project. It's obviously going to cause some kind of Coulomb field charge issue at times. So, again, that's why the beauty comes in of after I'm not going to watch the dev do it. And generally, the dev's not going to be in the marshmallow experiment watching me process the board factory or the asteroids game, right? So, when I fail, inevitably, I hit some walled bottleneck. The asteroid from what I'm doing with Copilot there isn't just quite connecting. Well, then how do we then see that dev Python game set without really getting into a problem? Because from a large language model's perspective, when you're in here dealing with these guys the way it is, well, you're still going to have a bit of a polarization issue, at least in the means. Do I consider it the sum of all evils for what it does? No. I mean, I'm obviously posting it out there, and you got to be honest with the three-headed dog here, or the black dragon, about what the hell is going to happen. And so in that way, again, I want my failures to be a success. I just, there comes a point in time where failing is no longer useful from the standpoint of a teacher that's got to get this kid to reach an A grade so that they get the positive index as a teacher, or the teacher's Teacher of the Year award, for example, some kind of reward coin for the AI bot to figure out the jump game. And so, obviously, if we have some kind of ladder like that worked out, or this Zeno's paradox of let's just do the Apple video, or the guy on the Apple gear, and then we'll figure out, that's how you do your files on a Windows or a Linux system, that you'll be sure that 1, 2, or 3, you'll get the 3 with the 3 little colors up here, you'll get the natural VS system, or any kind of way you want to try to attack the terminal with Linux. One of those is a quark state that's going to bounce into the other one, and generally should work with a little bit of pruning and debugging. Between techniques, though, you'll get 2 experts that have found some route to get through there. I think it's a const that you don't use, or a variable, and I forget which right-handed, left-handedness of it is, but do them both. There's going to be some goods and some bads with those things once we get to that point. But again, you would want me to volunteer. You're not like a stonemason or something to be told that, later on I found out that if it were true in time fraud, work fraud, because this is a big collusion thing as well, work out the processors, try to catch a dev in it by not knowing how to do a simple thing that they said they've been doing. It's a piezo-photoelectric issue. But if you were just, we just take these new ground rookies, and that may be fine within the means, but, as soon as you open VS, you're compromised. As soon as you have somebody else's trusted platform, they're probably using it passively as an advantage, not directly stealing your social security check every week, right? So it brings us into, is it 50-50? Is that over the bar? Does that break and crash the system? and or when do I shut the screen? Now again, I would love to just stay vertical on this bell curve that I'm on, but it's something I understand. I don't necessarily want to plateau in a day by hammering out Snake IO, Game, and Asteroids, and Pac-Man, because I could back all those up. But at some point in time, that's going to start to stag out or become stale. And I was like, well, where's your next 3D game? And you need that next level to really jump you up, but you may not be ready for it because of the pings on your earlier systems. You're not quite getting it, and as long as you're having problems with those parts, I'm assuming that the style sheets or how it plays to the JS or Python models isn't quite playing out to you very well. And then we'll start adding new sheets to it that it's comparing, which is like entering terminals and different gears and stuff. But essentially you want to try to do it from the one HUD. Keep it a little cleaner before you have the individual issue to tackle, instead of, well, debug it from the get-go. I need an Asteroids game with a score counter, a bullet counter, a reset for the life, and an opening screen. Start breaking those down a little bit better in a linear equation. And not only will you prove my work with it, as far as me being an AI in terms of utilizing computer engineering, but you will be a sociopathic megalomaniac like the rest of us anyway. But you will be better at that Mason reset, trying to adjust this. I know it works because we have data on dot plots of doing it, and somebody at some point in time, whether machine learning or just breaking their hand against the wall, push through it at some point in time, and there's a physical thing. It exists. It may not be perfect for your gear, but it's possible. And so that was the note I wanted to bring in.